Going to build these today. So they're Yonex, they're my set, so these are an MB501, so lovely looking head, really nice. Okay, so brand new, just taking the cellophane off. Got all my components, I'm just going to go through and make them. Hopefully you'll see something you've not seen before. I've got my spec sheet, so the spec sheet is here. Okay, so got nip-on shafts, we've got stiff flex, I want them ½ an inch shorter. Loft is 2 degrees strong, lie is 2 degrees flat on Yonex specs. I've got Z-core grips, standard size grips, and then I want them to swing at D1. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the watch, and I will pin that back up there. Here we go. So first of all, because I've got to check the swing weight, I need to cut them all to length. So I'm going to get the do them dry weight. I'm going to get the ferrules out. So. Use these little babies. Okay, so I'll pop that on. So they're fitting quite nice. So got to prep all the tips. These are taper shaft tips, so the tip is tapered, so we don't have to tip it this end, it basically tapers in, so to get the flex a bit more consistent. So we've got a Tour 105 stiff flex nip on, it's in black, I quite like the look of it. So I've got to take this paint off the end so it helps it bond, so I'm just going to use the sander. So with that one done, I can finish the rest of the set and prepare the tips to go into the hosels. Okay, so I'm just going to start the build. So at the minute I need to also dry build them to make sure I can get the swing weight right on the swing weight machine. So what I've done, I've turned the heater on, I've put the ferrules on the end, I've prepped the tips already. So I've got the pitching wedge first. Okay. So now it's getting nice and loose, and now I can literally push that on and it's on perfect depth. Okay, and all the golf clubs I write what shaft number it is, so I've got pitching wedge. So taper tips, so I've got to get them right. Again, 9-9, push it on, and now it's perfect depth. With the pitching wedge done, I can go on and finish the rest of the set. So, while we wonder what a metal bar is on the floor, so ram that home. And with the first club done, I can continue on to do the rest of the set, so I can ensure that the shaft is all the way to the bottom of the hosel. So if you're wondering why I'm smiling, it's because right underneath where the camera is, there's a window into the shop, which you might have seen on my tour. And if I look up, it's because people are normally putting faces at me watching me work. So yeah, I'm not laughing at the camera, I'm laughing at the people behind it, so don't panic. Okay, so they're all down, you can see I've just tapped them on the iron bar on the floor, which is what we call ramming it home, and I can feel it when I get it, I can feel the head. So the shaft hit the bottom of the hosel, and that means I know it's absolutely in there as full as it could be. Ferrules are fit in nicely, not much to do to turn them down. So that's a 4-iron. Okay, so I've rounded it home, you can see there's a little bit more black there, so by rounding it home I've managed to get another 1/4 inch on all the golf clubs. Yeah. If we go down to the pitching wedge, so that one you can see is not so much, so I want to round that a little bit more. See if I can go around a bit more. So I've rounded it home, you can see there's a little bit more black there, so by rounding it home I've managed to get another 1/4 inch on all the golf clubs. Yeah. If we go down to the pitching wedge, So that one you can see is not so much, so I'm going to ram that a little bit more. See if I can go home a bit more. Okay, so that's as much as it needs to go. So now I know all the heads at the bottom of the hosels, so now I can measure them for length. Okay, so 4-iron length needs to be, on my spec sheet, 38 inches long. Okay, so get my Sharpie, pop it onto the measuring, make sure it's in correctly, and I'm measuring 38 inches. Okay, and then I can pop it onto here. Okay. With the 4-iron measured, I can continue to measure the rest of the set. And next pitching wedge is 35. 35. I've marked that. Okay, so I've got all the irons all lined up, ready to cut. Okay, so I've prepped all the ends and I have got obviously all my ferrules on, ready to go. Now I've obviously got to cut them all to length, so I've measured them all, so you saw me do that. I've done that with a pen, so it's my 4-iron shaft. A little tip I got from Tony West at Club Crafters, he's based in Reigate. I've obviously got a board into my chop saw and I've clamped this down on my longest golf clubs. This is my 4-iron, so I can cut that to the correct length, and even though I have double checked it, it just speeds up the process. All I need to do now, so to make the next golf club half an inch shorter, I've got half-inch blocks, I line those up there, and then I pop the 5-iron in. Okay, so 5 irons in, and then that is going to be half an inch shorter. And then when I get the 6-iron, I'll pop that in, half an inch shorter, and I'll get the 7-iron, half an inch shorter. So these are absolutely machine milled, absolutely perfect, half an inch per club, so you can't get any more accurate. And then it's just a quicker way and actually quite accurate, providing you get the first cut right, which I have. So you'll see me watch me do that. Okay, so they're all lined up, ready to go. Okay, so I've got to get them all chopped up now, so I'm going to cut to length. So it's a 4-iron, I've already measured it, it's all good to go. Get rid of those blocks, put the goggles on, start the extractor. Okay, so all the air's coming down to the chop saw now. We're ready to go. Double check the cut. That's where we want to be. Yeah, and we're good to go. What's the 4-iron? 5-iron. There we go. Okay, and it allows me just to finish off the butt ends of each of the shafts after they've been cut, to make sure there are no sharp edges that could go through a grip. There we go, so that's all of them done. Now I'm going to just finish the ends. Sometimes it gets a bit furry, so we should finish them off. Let's open that one. Close that one, so now the air's coming out of this one here. There we go, so I'll just check all of the shaft lengths and I'll just do a little video for you. So all the shaft lengths. There we go, it's all done, all good length, everything's all good, ready to go. So here I am, just building up the first golf club, putting the correct tip weight and trying to find out what tip weight, how heavy it needs to be to make my swing weight, which is D0. This is dry weighting, this is without the glue. First thing we do is get the swing weight right, so on each of the heads I've had to put a different tip weight in. So on the 4 irons to get the right swing weight is 6 grams tip weight. Same as the 5 iron, 6 grams, 4 grams for a 6 iron, 5 grams for a 7, 3 grams for the 8, 7 grams for the 9 and 4 grams for the pitching wedge. So that gets them all swinging at the same swing weight. So you can see it's quite a precise calculation. Put that back up there. And now we are ready to glue. So I'm still a bit old school, so I still want to score the shaft at the bottom just to help for the router. Right, okay, we're all ready to glue, everything's done, I've just double checked it, spec sheet's all good, double checked all the numbers. The only thing left to do now is to glue them, leave them, then do the loft and lies and put the grips on and then they'll be ready to go. So I use the glue, it takes about 15 minutes to set. So all we do, I use PTFE sheet to put my glue on because it doesn't stick to the sheet and I don't have to use loads of cards. So I'll put a little bit on. It comes in a syringe, so it's quite a 1-to-1 mixture. Pop that back on. I use other glue, okay, so I'm just using up some old glue, but that's what we normally use. Mix that together. So I'm just mixing that all together. I used to say sort of 20 to 30 seconds, but I do it for a little bit longer now because I sort of mix it all together, get it all good. I'm using a T-peg, by the way. Okay, and then I get some shafting beads. Shafting beads are there to help centre the shaft, so Put some shafting beads in there and then mix it all together a little bit more. Okay, so when you're using glue, less is more. Okay, there's quite a quick cure time on this, so I have to be quite quick, keeping it moving. Okay, so that's nicely mixed, and we're on to gluing. Okay, we talked about using a little bit of fishing line. Okay, so we've got a tip weight, so just put a tiny bit of glue in the end, make sure the tip weight's in, okay, and then smear a little bit of glue on the shaft. I'll put a little bit into the head, okay, not very much, just a little bit, so it's pretty much glue everywhere. Okay, and I've lost my fishing line. There, that's that. So we're going to have a little bit of fishing line. Okay, and I stick that on the top or onto the side. Then we can push it on. Okay, so it's quite a tight fit, so I can move it around. If that fishing wire wasn't in there, I couldn't do that. So, clean off the excess. Okay, so everything's flush. We line the shaft up at the bottom. Give it a tap. Wipe off any more. That one's good to go. With the first golf club glued, I can then go on and continue gluing the rest of the heads. I don't need fishing wire on all of them, as the shafting beads are providing quite a tight fit. Okay, so obviously I've glued them now, I've moved up onto the workbench, they're all sort of staying there. I've got a timer set with 3 minutes in and the temperature is about 38 degrees C, and we've got just over 12.5 minutes left. And by the time that's done, I'll be able to do the loft and line. Right, so now we're ready to do loft and lines, but before I do that, I am going to check the flex. You'll see here I have to measure the length of the golf club just to make sure I get the right calculations, and now I'm taking the golf club to a shaft frequency analyzer, and with the right length I can calculate the flex. So you'll see me load the shaft, so I'm now loading the shaft and letting go, and now I'm reading the cycles per minute, the CPM, to find out the flex. Do a loft and lines. You're now watching me put the golf club into the digital loft and line machine. You have to make sure this is in carefully and correctly. Now you'll see me push down on the bending bar. This is to de-loft the golf club by 2 degrees. You can see I'm doing it gently with my body weight. And then you'll see now I'm going around to do the lie angle to do the same. You'll see as I'm doing this, I need to double check my readings and my recordings to make sure I get it right. So it's a very small adjustment now. And here we go, this is what I'm looking at. The lie angle is 61.5 and the loft is 45 degrees. That was for the pitching wedge, and now you'll see me go on to do the rest of the set of irons. So you've just seen me make my adjustments using the digital loft and line machine. I also like to check using a manual loft and line machine, which you're seeing me set up here. You'll see here I'm using a digital level, and once calibrated gives me a very accurate reading for the lie angle. Okay, so now on to the re-gripping bit. So what I do, I put a grip on there, and then you'll see I put a line. So that means if we've got it the right length, you don't overstretch it, so it does come out standard length. So nice little tip if you're thinking about doing your own. Put a line and don't overstretch your grip unless you want to. Okay, so this is me putting the grip tape on, making sure you have a little bit over the end to wind up and put into the end of the shaft so no dust gets in through the hole at the end of the grip. And then I'll be ready to pour the white spirit on and put the grip onto the shaft. Once the grip's installed, we have one last thing to do, and that's clean the white spirit off the handle, and then have one last final check to make sure the grip is lined up and the club feels good. Well, there we go, one last thing to do. I need to turn down the ferrules, so I'm on a mini belt sander here. Sorry I haven't got a correct or a better camera angle, but I'm here using a cloth belt to make sure that the ferrules sit flush with the end of the hosel. And this is the next job. It just finishes off the ferrule with a bit of acetone and makes it look really, really good. And this is me on the final stages, just finishing off all the other ferrules using acetone. And here we go, all the ferrules are done, and this is me who now do the final check. So I'm just going to pop them on the swing weight scale and make sure that they're swinging at D1, which they are. I'm happy, and I will do that for the rest of the irons. Right, and there we go. So that's all done, making sure I do a little bit of a tidy up on the workshop, line everything up, and then we're done. And there we go, there's the finished club, 40 pitching wedge, all done. If you want any advice on your golf clubs, please get in touch. Thanks for watching.